Ahoy there! Welcome aboard another episode of Rule the Waves 2 as Great Britain. I'm Katori87, and we have finally brought to an end the War of the Regatta. With that, we have ushered in a new era of peace and prosperity and fantastically large military budgets, which means it's time to start designing and building whole new ships. Alright, so, first things first, I've been asking on the forums for tips and tricks on designing aircraft carriers. So let's take a look and see what we can do for that. Now that we're able to do purpose-built aircraft carriers, I'm curious what they'll come up with. Alright. Ooh, I do not want 8-inch mains. That's a terrible idea. Alright, so what a strange design. 33 knots long range. This may be useful in real life, since that is a very useful ability there. Long range, high speed, sounds quite nice. But, I don't know, that sounds also very, very expensive. Let's see what kind of air capacity that is. 87 aircraft on a budget of 7 million, or hang on, monthly cost of almost 5 million per turn. Ugh. Yeah, I don't think we're going to go with that. That seems a little bit extreme. So first of all, let's round that out to an even number of air wings. We'll just go with a solid 80. That gives us 4 different full air groups to go with. Next up, I do not need long range since I have bases everywhere. So we can drop that down. Then our torpedo defense needs to get maxed out since submarine torpedoes and airdrop torpedoes are one of the largest threats against these things. Next up, speed does not need to be 33 knots since all we really have to be is at least 24 knots, and I want 28 so I can keep up with the fleet. Alright, so with all that, we've saved a fair bit of weight. Let's take a look and see what kind of protection we have. We have no armor on the flight deck or hangar. I don't think I need a 6-inch armor belt. That's a little bit ridiculous. All I really need is splinter protection. So we'll put that there. Turrets don't need anything. And we definitely do not need 8-inch main guns. That's a little bit extreme. So we'll drop that down to 6-inch guns. We'll put some 4-inch dual purpose on here. Crank that up. Crank up our ammunition there. There we go. That's all set. Alright, plenty of heavy A factor there. Don't need those dual purpose 3-inch since we already got a bunch of 4-inch. That's pretty good. Alright, and now let's see, how much weight can we shave off? So that has cut down our cost significantly already, down to almost 3.4 million per turn, which is pretty nice. But if we shave that down, 3.2 million per turn. Not bad. Now, I am kind of curious what happens if I put on some flight deck armor and a little bit of hangar armor. Well, first of all, that's very, very heavy. And that has bumped up our monthly build cost by almost 300,000. And then we also have to up our displacement. So let's bump that back up until we've evened out. And we also need unit machinery incline belt. There we go. So this is a usable aircraft carrier. 80 aircraft on a 32,000 ton displacement. All things considered, that's pretty solid. We're a little bit over our number of AA positions. There we go. Let's see if this is good. Too many secondary guns for ship type. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. We'll worry about that later. But all in all, that is a possibility. Alright, so we'll remember this basic layout. So that is a total of 89 million construction costs, basically 90 million construction costs for an 80 aircraft capacity on a fleet carrier. Let's also see what happens if we try that with CVLs. So if we do a larger number of smaller carriers, what will happen? So let's see, we'll bump that up to our maximum air capacity of 34. We'll need some torpedo defense. There we go, throw on torpedo defense 2. That should be good enough for small, cheap things like this. Oh man. 5-inch, okay, yeah, that's not bad, not bad. Got some 4-inch secondaries. I don't think we're going to go with any sort of armor on these, though. So we'll ditch that, ditch those. There we go, and hey, look at that. We've saved enough weight. In fact, since these are fleet escorts and don't need to be racing ahead of the thing, we'll throw on some unit machinery there just for that extra reliability. And we can drop speed down to 28 knots. And that puts us at a construction cost of 31 million for an air capacity of 34. So that puts us less than 1 million per aircraft launching capacity. That's actually pretty impressive, all things considered. And I haven't even saved all the weight that I can either. So we can definitely do better there. First of all, let's throw in a few more. Okay, we've got some AA directors. Let's throw on some more secondaries. There we go. Let's see how we're doing there. Still got room for a little bit more. Well, nah, we'll just throw that on up there. There we go. And then we have the weight. We have the weight left to maybe throw on some more torpedo defense. All right. And am I able to save a little bit more? Yeah, that's actually looking pretty good, all things considered. What would it take to go down to a solid 1200? I can't quite pull that off. But if we did a 1250, that's actually looking pretty good. Quick check. Okay. Yeah, too many secondaries. All right, we'll have to drop, and too many heavy AAs, so we'll have to drop that down. Let's see, how's that? Still too many. Drop that down, 12. Still too many. Drop that down. Still too many. Well, then it looks like 8 4-inch guns is the maximum I can do. Yeah, that's silly. I think we can do better than that. All right, so we're just going to ditch the secondaries entirely, and we're going to go down to 4-inch guns. So we'll do 4-inch dual purpose, and it probably doesn't care how many of these we have, so we'll bump that up. And I will bet we can put a few more on there. So we've got room for some port forward wing. Or hang on, no, we don't want port forward wing. We want some more starboard guns. So let's see how that looks. Alright, that's quite a bit better there. That gives us a very good broadside there. What would it look like if I threw on some portside guns too? I'm just kind of curious. Port There we go. That is some fantastic heavy AA factor there. I like that. And it frees up a lot of space for light anti-aircraft too. It's actually really nice. So with that in mind, I think I'm going to ditch the midships wings. And we're going to throw on the remaining port forward and aft wing turrets. There we go. That gives us some decent arcs of fire for these secondary guns, as well as a nice heavy AA factor. And we could probably go with a little bit of extra rounds per gun, so let's bump that up to 180. And all the rest can be light AA, which is very useful for breaking up incoming attacks. Alright. And there we go. 32.5 million for a carrier with 34 aircraft. That is very good cost efficiency here. So I think that we're going to go with this. I am very happy with that. That said, we do need a name for that. So just a second, let me take a look at my list. And I think we're going to go with the Splendid, because it is quite a very good design. So let's do one last double check. Oh, boo. Okay, so we're overgunned. Let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 guns. So 16 guns is overgunned. Let's see what happens when we drop that down a little bit. Alright, well, I'll just take the rate of fire and accuracy. Okay, that's not acceptable. We cannot afford the accuracy penalties. Alright, so I guess we'll have to ditch some of these wing turrets. Yep, so we'll clear those off and we'll try that one more time. We wanted... Alright, there we go. It's only 12. They better not... Why is it still complaining? It was fine before. Is it the ammunition load? That is very strange. Okay, so it's okay with that. What if I start adding some single turrets on? Nope, it wants no more than 8 4-inch guns, no matter where we put them. Whether they're main or secondary, no more than 8. That's very unfortunate. Alright, well, with that in mind, I suppose I should rearrange things a little bit so that I'm not in as big of a risk. We'll put those back down to singles. And just out of curiosity, we'll throw on those midships turrets as well. Double check. Yep, still objecting. So we'll take those midships turrets off. And now they're okay. Okay. And we are just a hair... Well, we've got some weight remaining. Let's see, should I shave that off? I can't quite go down to 1200. And that doesn't even give me the right amount of ammunition either. Let's bump that back up. Alright, so I guess we will stick with the 1250 design. Okay, so we'll stick with that. We've got a decent collection of guns. Decent heavy A factor. So that bumps us from, first one goes 14 to 19. So that's an increase of 5. Next one goes from 19 up to 22. That's an increase in 3. Just out of curiosity, what does the third one do? 2. Yeah, diminishing returns. We'll stick with 2 AA directors. At some point, we'll need to switch over to medium AA guns as soon as we actually develop those. And that should be a more efficient use of our tonnage. That, and who knows, at some point I've got to get those 5-inch dual-purpose guns. Lord knows every other nation in the world has them. Alright, so we're going to take this splendid design and we're going to save that and we're going to start developing it. Alright, and in the meantime we still have a few ships slowly working their way back home. Anyone else left? We've got a whole bunch of Comus class. I need to go out on their patrols. So put those back on foreign station and leave them off to do their thing. Actually, you know what? Hang on. We're just going to mothball them. Since we're fine on our foreign station requirements, we'll just put them in emergency reserve in case some of our other ships go on. Oh, yeah. We do have other ships that need some refits. Alright. Although these guys don't particularly count very much. So we're going to... Yeah, we'll leave these guys on mothballs for now. And these fellows, the Conquests, need some refits. So we'll open that design for a rebuild. I don't want to do anything too significant to these. At least I don't think I want to. They are still useful frontline cruisers, though. So we're going to at least do some upgrades. So new fire control, new 6-inch guns, increased elevation. They already have dual-purpose 4-inch guns, so I don't need to worry about that. Anything else? Not that I know of. We'll shave off a few light AA. Alright. I think this is a pretty good rebuild. Alright, so we'll save that. We'll send these fellows in for a refit. Alright, off you go. And then we also had some other ships. Where were they? Where are you at? Here we go. The Proserpine class. Alright, you guys were all going obsolete, so let's see about rebuilding you guys too. Again, you're still fast. Not the fastest in the world anymore, but fast enough. So it is worth doing some improvements. Alright, increased elevation, advanced director, and while we're at it, might as well throw in some new guns. Alright, and that looks good. So we'll save those and we'll send them off for rebuild. Okay, anything else? We still got battle cruisers heading home. More battle cruisers heading home. Got various ships on foreign station. We've got these heavy cruisers. I am very curious how well those heavy cruisers are going to do. They have a lot of firepower, but they don't have the protection. So they're basically smaller versions of battle cruisers. So I'm very curious how that actually works out. Alright, and then we have the carriers, all in active fleet. I like to keep it that way. The various CVLs heading back home, so looking forward to that. And, oh, that reminds me, we have land bases that need to go on reserve. Okay. So we're going to just put all of these on reserve. So that'll wind those down and save us some budget. All right. And that looks pretty good. Wow, here we are, 21 minutes in, and I haven't even taken a turn yet. All right. Next turn. Huh. 5-inch dual-purpose mounting. Well, there you go. Alright, and we've got ships back home now, so we can take these battleships. They can go, let's see. All of our 14-inch gun ships are going mothballs. In fact, everything other than the slow ships are going mothballs. These guys still have a little ways to go yet. That guy can go mothballs. Anything else? Looking good so far. Anyone still heading back home? Yeah, still got those Maxtons out and about. What about my destroyers? Those are still traveling. Okay, Lances are almost home. The Garys are looking good, and all of these Corvettes are doing good as well. All right. How are things over here looking? Lots of ships under reconstruction. We've got a design study for the Splendid. I'm very curious how that will do with 5-inch dual purpose. So I think next month we're going to try that out. And we still have a lot of monthly balance left over. And I don't know if you remember, but America was designing a pretty ridiculous Dreadnought over here. Hang on a minute. They've got 2? Well, that's interesting. They've got 2 over-the-top battleships. These 2 things are larger than the biggest ships that I can build right now. It's a little bit strange given that their dock size is only 59,000 tons. But they're building them. And they've got the full collection of gun calibers, so that could be anywhere from a bajillion and a half 16-inch guns up to 2x4 collection of 20-inchers. Something ridiculous. And it's probably got some insane armor as well, so cannot let America have the biggest battleships in the world. That is absolutely unacceptable. We must build something of our own. So, design challenge number 2, we're building a new battleship. Alright, let's see what we got. So this comes up with a almost 50,000 ton design. Not bad. Let's see if the auto design comes up with anything else. No, that's even smaller. Do they do anything bigger? No. Looks like our design bureaus are quite happy with a 50,000 ton ship. Well, too bad for them. I am not. So let's start putting some numbers in here. First things first, unit machinery, incline belt looks good. Engine priority, torpedo defense has to be 4, maximum defense there. Speed, these are going to be fast battleships, so I want a 28-knot ship. Armor protection, we need protection against dive bombs in the future. And we also need protection against, let's see, what kind of shells could we be facing? Well, 16-inch guns have effectively up to a 6-inch belt, or a 6-inch deck penetration. 17-inch goes even higher, up to 7 inches. I don't think I can do that. 18-inchers, yeah, about the same. 19-inchers, roughly the same in expected engagement ranges. And 20-inchers, yeah, actually about the same. Honestly, I think about a 6-inch deck will provide full protection against long-range fire. So we'll do our 6-inch deck. I do not intend to use 20-inch guns. That's a little bit ridiculous in terms of weight. I expect engagement ranges of around. So let's see what kind of protection 17-inch guns do. So I do expect engagement ranges as close as 10,000 yards, but there's no way in heck I'm putting on 20 inches of armor. That's almost certainly out of the question. Let's see, we've got our advanced director. Let's put on some ammunition. There we go. Let's see. Turret top 6. Secondaries do not need 5 inches of armor. They need splinter protection, and that's about it. We do need a lot of them, though, so let's throw on more of those. Twin dual purpose. Yep, that seems good. Don't need any of these tertiaries, so we can ditch that. Now that we've got effective 5-inch guns, quality 1 dual purpose, that is quite effective anti-aircraft. I don't think we need much more than that. We've got our inclined belt. This only provides immunity out to 18,000 yards. Let's see. Additional armament. No torpedo tubes. This is a battleship, so we'll save that. We do want some seaplanes. There we go. 5 of those. And we actually have a fantastic capability here that we can put. Ew, that's a terrible location. But we can indeed put some catapults now that we have that technology. So we'll throw on a catapult. I don't think I'm going to put a hanger on, though. That's just unnecessary weight. Yeah, that almost doubles the weight of aircraft, and I'd rather have more. Alright, so we've got 17-inch guns. This gives us a total of 6, 8, 10. I think we can do better than that. So let's see what happens if we do that. So could I do 18-inch turrets and say a 16-inch belt? See what kind of tonnage would be required to do that. Oh man, this is starting to get expensive. And we're still looking a little bit light there, or a little bit overweight. So here we go. 83,000 tons, and the answer is no, we're still overweight. What if we swap out for quads? Alright, so clear that off, and we're going to put on A, B, Y, quadruple turrets. With a better concentration of mass, that should save some weight. Yeah, that actually brings us a lot closer to reasonably achievable. How's our gun data looking? Pretty good, pretty good. What if... Let's see, what if we drop that down to 15, and we drop that down to 15? Let's see about that. So it still provides protection against 17-inch quality 1 guns out to 16,000 yards. And against 16-inch guns out to 12,000 yards. That is very good protection right there. So, yeah, not bad. Let's see what the design editor thinks. Do you really want to armor the main turrets that heavily? Yes. Yes, I do. Actually, I am kind of curious how much weight that is. I do want lots of armor on the turrets. But if we go from 18 down to 17, how does that change things? Well, it's not changing the mass of the turrets at all. That's a little weird. So we have no actual statement of how much weight that is. Does the game at least stop objecting? Yes, it does. How much protection does that provide? Yeah, that gets me a little bit closer. Still providing very good protection there. Alright. And with that, how much weight can I save? First of all, what's our heavy AA factor? 53. That's pretty good. Throw in a third, that bumps us up to 59, so that's plus 6. And another plus 6. Interesting. And, well, that's the maximum we can do. Okay, so I can't do much more than that. What about... Let's see how much weight we can save. Okay, so we could get this down to a solid 80,000 tons. Still have some weight remaining for additional AA guns. Alright, let's start cracking on the AA guns. Yep, too far. There we go. Yep, that is the maximum AA that we can throw on there. And we still have a little bit of weight left over. Pretty good. That still leaves room for future upgrades of new fire controls, maybe some medium AA. Who knows? Maximum torpedo defense. All in all, this is looking very, very nice. See if I can find some other hangars. Yeah, no, that's not a good idea. So we'll ditch those. Are there any better locations for these aircraft catapults? Again, it just doesn't quite work. What about the V? Okay, so there's the Q right in the middle. It's not too terrible. And then there's the V. What about those? All the way back here. That's a little bit better. Where was the more midship stuff? So I had LQR. Well, here's a thought. We'll clear those off and we'll just relocate the funnels. Alright, so we'll take these two and I'll place one funnel up here. And the other funnel, oh, come on, the other funnel can go back here. And actually, you know what? Let's put this one a little bit further forward. There we go. One big funnel and a second smaller funnel back aft. There we go. That looks pretty good. Let's push that a little bit further forward. There we go. I think we'll go with that. All right. Man, what a monster. All right. Very heavy 5-inch dual-purpose armament. Plenty of rounds per gun. Hopefully that gives us a decent amount of secondary ammunition. And a decent number of scouting aircraft. Can we throw on any more? Yeah, we can. We'll do that. Plenty of light AA. I think we're going to do this. Alright, and we need a name for that. So we're going to call this class, since the next name in the series is supposed to be a J name, I'm going to call this class the Juggernaut. And we're going to save that and start developing. Alright, and off she goes to the races. And we're going to have to update the Splendid at some point soon. And hopefully we'll be able to build that with all the savings from these heavy cruisers finishing up. Because all the budget we've got right now is going to be dedicated to the Juggernaut. Alright, next turn. Well on their way to understanding lighter steam turbines. That's interesting. An improved model of the Supermarine swordfish. Let's take a look at that and see what we got. Alright, so improved speed, improved range, no significant physical improvements in terms of firepower, maneuverability, toughness, but I guess they just threw a new engine in there that's more powerful, or maybe they did a supercharger or something, who knows. Better range, better speed. I do like that though, so I think we're going to go with that. Yep. The USA has let us know through diplomatic channels they are worried by our base expansions on the East Coast. Tension increases. That's a lot of tension increasing events. 1, 2, 3 in a single turn. Well, that's not so good. Let's see. So the Splendid needs some rework. Let's take a quick look at that. I was curious to see how well it would fare with 5-inch dual purpose. Alright, so with 4-inch dual purpose we have a heavy AA factor of 22. Bump that up to 5-inch. And we go from a heavy AA of 22 to a heavy AA of 24. Not a huge step up. But it is also an improvement in terms of anti-surface capability. So if we do end up running into any sort of bad guys, we can take them on. So, yeah, I guess we'll take it. Alright, we will save that. And we're going to do that redesign. Wow, that was quite a jump up in tension there. Alright, foreign station tonnage is looking a little bit light. So let's take these, first of all the ships that are getting home can go back into reserve, save some budget there. And let's see, carriers are looking good. Our lances are all back. So we're going to mothball those. Actually, it feels kind of a waste to be mothballing these, but we need the money. Need the money for ship construction. Anything else? We got to get our foreign stations met again, so I guess it's time to take those comuses back out of mothballs. 1 foreign station. 2 foreign station. There we go. 5 foreign stations. Ha 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 ha. Okay, those are set. Our carrier design is developing quite nicely. Juggernaut's coming along as well, and by that point, we should have all these other ships that are soaking up money out of the yards. So I think we can afford at least 2 more of these, at least 2 of these Splendids. So, actually, hang on. Maybe 3. We'll see. Alright, moving on. Next turn. Oh my. The French conductor holds a belligerent speech. Tensions rise. I didn't know the French were capable of speaking belligerently. I guess it was much French laughter. Alright, temporary setback in figuring out the concept of microphotography for armor breakage studies. Well, that's unfortunate. I guess we'll never figure out how brittle fracture occurs. New French fighter is entering service. It is rumored to be faster than our fastest fighter. That's not so nice. As we have seen, speed is everything when it comes to fighters. The ability to chase down the enemy and to engage and disengage at will is very important. Alright, latest design Splendid is ready for construction. I think we'll do it. So we'll build the Splendid. Alright, there we go. Oh wow, that's not expensive at all. That's actually very, very cheap. All things considered, I can build more than just 2. Alright, let's build more of these. Okay, next one is going to be the Superb. There we go. And we're going to lay down a 3rd. And we're going to call that the Fantastic. Alright, there we go. 3 fancy new light carriers. Looking good. And our light cruiser rebuilds should be coming out soon. That'll save quite a bit of budget. Wow, I can't speak today. Alright. There we go. 7 cruisers have finished their reconstruction. Data for a Russian dive bomber. Russia has dive bombers? Ugh. Oh, that's not so good. I want dive bombers. Alright. Well, at least it's not that big of a bomb load. It's probably a medium bomb load, 1 250-pound bomb. Probably heavy bomb load would be 500, maybe 400. So yeah, it's not a threat to my major capital ships yet. And then heavy cruiser Oslabya. Let's take a look at that. 9 9-inch guns. Man, what is up with that 3 triple arrangement? People really like that. And we've got 8 6-inch and 4 3-inch dual purpose. Not a lot of heavy A there. Well, this one does have a very good armor belt. Anything else? Gloucester has developed an improved model of the Gloucester Gauntlet. Well, let's take a look. Gauntlet B. No change in speed, range, firepower. But its payload has spec'd up. Poor reliability. Well, might as well encourage the increase in payload. We'll take it. Let's see how those things are doing. Yick. Reliability on all of our aircraft is not good anymore. Guess all this additional complications of superchargers and turbo boosts and variable pitch propellers and all that other fancy stuff that they throw on modern airplanes has reduced their serviceability and reliability. But in the name of performance, we gotta do it. Alright, well, we're reaching the end of the episode here, so I think I'm going to call it to a close here. Next turn, we should be laying down our first new Juggernaut class super battleship. I think we have entered a new era of military arms race. The Dreadnought race is back on. Alright, we'll see how that goes next episode, though. Until then, I'm Katori87, signing off.